Hi everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Movies and TV reviews, that's what we do here. And, quiet. Shh. This movie is awesome. Alright. But before we begin on that, no, don't worry, I'm not gonna whisper the whole time. There are no monsters here. No monsters. Other than the little, furry half Dalmatian one upstairs. So, he's already got his bone. Hi. First off, before we begin, I just want to say, I mean it from, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I went to bed last night thinking the Bo Burnham video was going to be like my least viewed and most disliked, and I was like, going to bed like, oh, no one's going to watch this, no one cares. Except me, no one feels this passionately. Woke up, my most watched, most liked video ever. And I got an 8 subscriber bump. Like, what? You guys are awesome. I underestimated Bo Burnham's audience. I really did. And I've always been a fan, but I didn't, like, wow. I'm really happy that was the one, because it's a great, great film. And yes, it was a film. So thank you guys so much. Love you all. In fact, I have a little announcement I wanted to make after the review, but we'll start with the review, give you something to stick around for. So let's get to the review. So, Cases didn't give it away. The review on this week's show is A Quiet Place Part 2. A Quiet Place Part 2, the highly anticipated, especially by me and everyone else, sequel to one of the very best films of 3 years ago, John Krasinski's A Quiet Place. And this film is once again directed, and this time solely written and also co-produced by John Krasinski, who briefly reprised his role as Lee Abbott. So what's the story? A Quiet Place Part 2. First off, before we begin, moderate spoilers, well, big spoilers for A Quiet Place 1. To talk about this movie at all, you had to have seen the first one, so if you haven't seen the first one, what are you waiting for? Pause this, leave the window open, go watch A Quiet Place 1, and then come back. So, spoiler alert for A Quiet Place 1. So, once again, we focus on the Abbott family, what's left of the Abbott family, where we last left them. It was I believe it was 472, was the last, Father Lee Abbott, played by John Krasinski, briefly in a flashback at the film's beginning, was killed, made a sacrifice to save his 2 children, his daughter and his son, played terrifically by Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe, killed in the process, and by, of course, the monsters, where, in this future, if you make any kind of noise, you basically have to keep quiet, sign, and whisper, whatever, what have you, because there are these monsters that basically, that we find out at the beginning of this film are of extraterrestrial origin, who basically, they don't, they're blind because of like a protective armor on their face, but they can hear, at a super sensitive pitch, and so if you talk, you're dead. John Krasinski sacrificed himself, and they discovered the weakness to taking out the monsters came in the daughter's hearing aid, who is herself deaf, as is actress Millicent Simmons, who plays her, and so they now have a plan to take out the monsters. So where we begin, the first scene, it's a flashback to day 1, how this all started, and then after the opening title, and a phenomenal sequence, by the way. After that, the remaining Abbott family, Mother Evelyn and their son and daughter and their newborn baby. Their other son died at the beginning of the first film. Are finally leaving the house the following day after the events of the first film, and on their own, and they run into Cillian Murphy, who's set up in the flashback at the beginning as an old pal of theirs. Their sons were on the same Little League team, and basically they need his help getting out. They have a way of sending out this frequency solution. They find a way to possibly get to a place where they can launch, like, the sound as a signal to basically weaken the monsters so that the world can fight back. But in order to do that, they need to go on a kind of an odyssey that's going to splinter the family into these little sects of characters, including Cillian Murphy and Millicent Simmons, and mom Emily Blunt, and son Noah Jupe, who's also dealing with a leg injury, a pretty grisly one early in the movie, and the baby, who cries at the most inconvenient times in a world where you can't speak. You don't want a colicky, crying baby. Look, I'm going to sell you this right now. One of the best sequels of all time. I'm not kidding. A Quiet Place Part 2 is... Quiet Place was a masterpiece. You couldn't think the lightning could strike twice. It has, guys. It's struck twice. This is one of the best sequels of all time. Definitely one of the best horror sequels of all time. And one of the things that really makes it work is John Krasinski's filmmaking. This guy. This is Jim Halpert from The Office. Who knew this man had this in him? Because I saw his first film, Brief Interviews with Hideous Men, which was alright. I never saw The Hollers, which is the film he did before Quiet Place. But my God. That first film was the test. This is the game. I mean, this is... He has found a way somehow to take the goodwill from people, and also I feel like you cannot see this movie without seeing the first one. They go hand in hand. And from now on, I cannot watch the first one and not pop on the second one right after. It's done so intricately to be... This is what every sequel should do. This kind of does to the Quiet Place franchise what Aliens did for the Alien franchise, where it takes, or Terminator 2 did for Terminator, where it takes the goodwill we have for these characters established in the first film. It expands the scope, it makes it bigger, it makes it more exciting, it makes it action-packed, the budget is clearly bigger, it makes it big, but it never loses sight of the family. It never loses sight of the heart. John Krasinski himself has said he didn't really care about the scares so much. What attracted him to the spec script that he ended up joining the writers on in the first film is the family story. Because he was a new father and he wanted to make this... With Emily Blunt, they had a child together and he wanted to make this... Fantastic, so good at that. And you just see... These kids are phenomenal actors and they both get their big badass hero moment in this movie, as does Emily Blunt, of course. You get... Cillian Murphy delivers a phenomenal supporting performance. The opening sequence... Not only does it contain tons of Easter eggs to the first movie, including a very familiar rocket toy that had detrimental effects in the first film, but it also is a dizzyingly exciting sequence. Especially, I saw this movie in IMAX, and it was just insane. Where it goes, and it's in the trailer, some of it, but not all of it. It's in the context of the movie, it's even cooler. But you pan from... There's a shot of Emily Blunt tending to the baby in the previous younger son who died in the back seat. Pan up to her, pan up to a bus coming toward her, true going backwards, and then the monster coming out of the front of the bus. Dude. While John Krasinski and the daughter are fleeing on the streets with other people. Man, this movie, one of the best films of 2021. I'm not kidding you. This really is. This is what we go to the movies for, and I know that's what... It sounds like a poster line, but it just is. This is why it was worth the wait. This was worth the year-long wait. This is so good. This is so good. John Krasinski, you should be very proud of yourself, sir. You wrote a great script, and you wrote a great film, and made it. Good job, John Krasinski. Wow. Jim frickin' Halpert. I am speechless. A Quiet Place Part 2 gets 5 stars, the same score as A Quiet Place Part 1. It may not be better than Part 1, but it's certainly as good. What a great film! Like, 'cause the thing is, it's not just a great popcorn movie, it's a great movie. And you really care about the characters, there's dimension to it, it's thrilling, it's white knuckle, it's scary. I love this movie. This is see this on the biggest, loudest screen you can find. This is a great movie, and also, the ending, without spoiling it, guarantees A Quiet Place Part 3, and unlike other cliffhanger endings, like the first one, leaves you wanting it now, and it leaves it in such a cool place. What are you waiting for? Go see A Quiet Place Part 2. I'm sorry to yell. Go see A Quiet Place Part 2. It is awesome. Okay, so that 5 out of 5 stars A Quiet Place Part 2. Phenomenal film. One of the best sequels ever. I'm not kidding you. I was on cloud 9 walking out of this movie. Alright, trailer trash. Now, let's moving on. We're going to talk about some trailer trash. And there's actually weirdly a lot to talk about this time. Some of them are familiar. First up, they had a trailer for my most anticipated film of the year, Last Night in Soho. I cannot wait for this movie. The new narrative Edgar Wright film. He has a documentary coming out this summer, too, that we talked about in the profile review of the Sparks Brothers. Man, I love Edgar Wright. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Thomas and Mackenzie I thought was phenomenal, and Jojo Rabbit. I can't wait for this flick. Looks really creepy. It looks kind of like a neon demon crossed with a touch of 60s MGM musical crossed with, like, Suspiria? I don't know, man. This looks really creepy. And maybe a little bit of The Haunting of Hill House. Maybe a little single white female in there. Looks really freaking good. A little bit of like old, German expressionists like Nosferatu, something. Looks really freaking good. Free Guy, we talk about it a lot. I can't wait for it. Great premise, but I'm sick of the trailer. The Forever Purge, or The Purge 5. Again, looks interesting. I like the idea that it's the Purge after the Purge, where some people are just like, well, the Purge is over, we're gonna keep going. But Trump supporters. What is it? Okay. Black Widow looks good. I'm sick of the trailer though. Can't wait to see it though. F9 going to space, y'all. Can't wait, but I'm sick of the trailer. Again, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. It looks creepy. I'm a big fan of this franchise. Sick of the trailer though. These two are the big ones. Top Gun Maverick? Yeah, the second one, which I got to see in full IMAX because the movie apparently was shot in Thailand. Looks insanely cool. Looks like it's really going to be good. Joseph Kosinski. I'm definitely in the cult audience who loved Tron Legacy almost as much as the first Tron. And I also was a big fan of Oblivion and think it deserves its own cinematic universe. So I'm really excited for this one. It looks great. And I just seeing the first one again in the theaters with my mom. It's coming out on my birthday. I really can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. Last one, man, this is another one of my most excited. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Come at me, haters. I'm really excited for this. You're telling me we're getting a spin-off of the G.I. Joe movies about my favorite character, where one of my favorite actresses plays Scarlet, and one of my favorite actors is going to play Snake Eyes? Yes! Yes! I don't even care that I think it's like the director of freaking, I don't know, like Legally Blonde is doing it. I don't care. I'm really excited for this flick. That like the girl from Money Heist is playing the Baroness. This looks amazing. I can't wait. Good old-fashioned martial arts action flick. Was there shawarma? No, there was not. So falling asleep. Whew. Alright, so tomorrow we got Cruella. Coming up, oh gosh. We'll talk more Tuesday about that. Maybe Monday after Cruella. I don't know. I know for sure we're going to talk about, whatchamacallit, Feel Good Season 2 and Sweet Tooth Season 1. On Netflix, we're also going to talk about, The Conjuring. That was the other one. Okay, so, and maybe something else. So, that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all. Happy to share it with you. All right. I love you all. And also this week I might watch that new movie Oslo, that new Spielberg HBO flick. All right. Love you all. Appreciate you all. I love you all. Class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Keep quiet. Shh. Thanks for all the support. Oh, my announcement. Sorry. Whoops. Real quick. So we're on a roll here. I'm not trying to simp or anything or trying to get whatever the term is. I'm not hip with the young people. Here's the thing, guys. Just for fun, don't have to put a time limit on it. When we get to 100 subscribers, I have a fun idea. When we get to 100 subscribers, we're on our way. We're about 63 subscribers away, just a little close to half. I will do a video on, and this is a doozy, a story time video on my most insane movie-going experience of my life. A whole video about it. That will do that just for you if we can get to 100 subscribers. So that's what we can do. We'll talk about that. So I thought that would be fun. Fun little goal. Yeah. All right. Anywhoosum. I love you all. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Class Smith. I love you 1000. Kind of one another. Shh. Be quiet. Go see A Quiet Place Part 2. But don't talk. Especially in the movie theater. Be quiet. You will. It'll scare you. All right. Thank you all. Take care.